Hello, hello, hello. We are back. See how I caught that mic? One-handed. One-handed. How's everybody doing? Dummy juice, always. What's up, everybody? How y'all been? How y'all been? Figured a little Biggie was appropriate today for our little soiree here. So we're stepping it up this week a little bit since our last stream. We said goodbye to the lake house, and it's a little emotional, you know what I'm saying? How's it sound out there, guys? Y'all hear my guitar good enough? Can I get a little more of that guitar? It's always the G string on these fucking old Les Pauls. So, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to part 2 of the gear stream. Since last time, we had some problems at the lake house because everyone's favorite bass player, Henry, just, wrecked everything. And he was supposed to be here today, but he was unable to join us. Quote unquote, I kinda forgot. I can tell when you're lying, Hendo. But he's here. He's here moderating. Shout out to Hendo, as always. I miss you, dog. It's not the same without you. But today we're coming to you from the studio that I've been working at for the last couple months here. Getting a little acclimated. So, what's up, everybody? So we're coming live to you today from my friend Dan's studio, better known as Mr. Dano Piano, in the motherfucking house over here helping me out, miking up amps with me, making it so we can go through some of this array of things. Yeah, man, it's good to be back. It's like I started this whole stream from like such a organic kind of place. It was just like me, pandemic style, going nuts in my little apartment, and then doing that, and then joined up with Hendo, did the lake house thing. And now Dan has been gracious enough to bless us with letting us use his beautiful home / studio. So we're sounding real nice. My mics sound nice. I got that SM7B going. If you guys were wondering what kind of mic I prefer in the studio. Since we're at the studio, we're gonna be using that as the catalyst. We're gonna use that as so it's the gear stream from the studio. So it's gonna be all the stuff that I'm using in the studio, what's going on, which pretty much everything I use live I'm using in the studio. But also, since we did get through guitars last time, but I did not have this piece last time, and I've been using this guitar a lot on my new stuff. And this is Dano's 1977 Les Paul standard, and it is. Let me tell you what, guys. I mean, it's got that thing like all the old Les Paul standards do, where it weighs 1,000,000 pounds, and It weighs 1,000,000 pounds, and the G string goes in and out of tune. But that's probably because I'm putting 10s on it when Dan usually plays 11s. But I gotta have that bend on the Les Paul. So, anyways, how many of you guys saw the pre-sale for the Fall of Troy record from Uncle T Earth? Any of you guys get in on that? See that artwork? Oh yeah. Yeah, that tricolor dip. Looking like 3 Otter Pops not ripped apart yet. Know what I'm saying? Dano's a fiend for the Otter Pops. He stays with the Otter Pops in the freezer. Dano's my banter today, since Hendo's not here. So he's my backup. He's my backup Hendo. Yeah, you're getting outshined right now, Henry, for sure. Dano's outshining the hell out of you in the lake house, buddy. You and your 2-bit little operation up there. Yeah, this is tight though. I feel like a musician. But yeah, thanks to all you guys who picked up the pre-order and picked up some merch and stuff. Like I'm very, very grateful, as always. And I'm super proud. I'm super excited that you guys, the first time you guys hear that record, hopefully, if I were you and I pre-ordered that vinyl, that would absolutely be the first way I chose to listen to that record, is the whole way through, via vinyl, which is the way that I'm gonna listen to it when I get mine, because I get one too. I'm excited. Just like vinyl question marks. That's funny. Just like vinyl's been coming up all day today, and that's funny because I think last stream I was talking about it a little bit, and I had seen Jake, but I saw Jake again, and we hung out, and I think it's come to the conclusion that just like vinyl is going to finally now record our long lost, almost not yet finished EP. So JLV's back on the active roster. What do you think about that, Dano? Yeah? Yes, I hope so. He says, am I mixing it? Yeah, so JLV in the motherfucking house for sure. Played that one in a long time. Remember when these streams first started and it was just me like rehearsing and being awkward? Okay, anyways, but yeah, so this is Dano's 1977 Les Paul standard that I've been using a lot along with Bonnie and Dolly and June. Yeah, June's been on quite a bit of the record. Now I think about it, my 175. But everything's sounding good out there? You guys can hear me? Everything's good? Sometimes people don't learn, they much rather speak true. We better keep secrets, waiting on a better day. Everything is self-destructive. I can't explain myself anyway. Yeah, we're gonna get a better webcam going eventually. We're working on it, guys. You know, we're not the biggest budget operation out here. I'm not the biggest budget operation out here. By the way, and if you guys do indeed want us to step up our game visually and such things, you can subscribe, obviously, because I'm back on my stream hustle lately, and you can also donate straight to PayPal or to Cash App or anything like that in the info section. It really it does go a long way, guys. Creation filtration. I have every intention of continuing to do these. I love you guys. This is what I look forward to. The song that plays after Caught Up. I got a job interview tomorrow, so if things go through, I'll be sending mad cheddar your way. Hey, shout out. Damn it, your name just disappeared. Who just said that? Whoever just said that, thank you very much. Elephantricity, what's up, man? How you doing? I Doink? Is that like Doink the Clown? I love that. What's up, Bobby Venture? Oh, there's Chuck. The homeboy from the real squad, the real team. Chuck is here. Chuck, I don't know if you heard what I said earlier, but Just Like Vinyl is back on the active roster officially. We're going to be finally recording our long lost EP, so keep you busy. But let's get into amps, man. Since I got that handle with the guitar and all that, and I'm just out here warming up, just like getting in the vibe with you guys, you know, like this is just, I know this isn't like the regular kind of Twitch stream, but we like it that way. This is our stage, but this is our show. So, and we like it. We like it. I like the Twitch community, and I like the fact that we're doing something different. Oh, head no. My show. I am the show. Not your show today, buddy. Not your show today. Anyways, so right now, to answer that question, I'm just gonna start at my top tier. You know, so I am playing right now, currently, out of my. I love this amp so much. I've had a lot of amps. I've gone through a lot of amps, and I love Orange amps, and I love all of their products, and I'm not just sucking their dick. Like, I was sucking their dick before I was working with them. Like, straight up, everything about them. They've always been my favorite. They have such a unique sound to them, but this is an orange. It's an orange. It's an orange OR 100. Right now, I think I'm set to half power on the back of the head. Am I at 100? I'm at full? Okay, so the we'll get into the features of this amp later, but I guess I'll start with this. So my favorite feature about this amp, not only is how versatile it is, but is how basically it's 2 amps in one, but it has a situation where you can, on the back of the head, you can go full power or half power, and that kills 2 of your power tubes, basically. And then on the front, though, where you have the standby switch right here, you can go down, and that's half of half power. So this head goes all the way. So the way that it works is if you're at full power, and then up is full power. So that's 100 watts. Then I can go down to 75 watts. Then if I cut it down in the back, I can go full. That's 50 watts. Then I can go half of that, and that brings it down to 25. So it's crazy, and all the voicings are really different. So I'll give you guys like an idea of that. I'm not gonna like reach all behind there because I stacked all of this beauty up for you guys. But like, so this is half power basically. So then I play the same lick, and then I'll go up to full, and you'll see how the headroom kind of clears and kind of bumps up the headroom. So yeah, so you got that. That's a dirty channel, which, you know, a lot of my stuff, I also use I use a volume pedal. So a lot of my clean stuff, I roll off my volume pedal, especially live. So, playing live, I usually use my, well, see, so you're gonna get that buzz from a big tube amp. But then I can kill it, and it's basically a whole nother amplifier. So the voicings are way different too, because I can, you know, do. I'm also running through a THD hot plate right now. So it's, if you guys don't know what a hot plate is, it basically is you run it between your head and your cabinet, so you can turn your amp up to 100 watts. And then get all that saturation, get all that tone, get all that kind of stuff going. But it's not insanely loud. So, but yeah, like this clean channel even gets cooking. See what I mean? But what's really cool about this this clean channel, we'll get into this for a minute, is it has like an interactive EQ. So it has a bass and a treble. It has two arrows. It has a down arrow with a bass clef next to it and an up arrow with a treble clef next to it. And so I'm going to turn them both all the way down and just give you guys kind of an idea what goes on with this. So I'm going to bring the treble all the way up. Okay. It's real bright. And then if I bring the bass up, hear it start to compress. It's compressing the mids. Now it sounds like a Fender or something. But the way that it works is, the way that I like to do it is, I like to set them both up at noon and then kind of go from there, because the way that they play with each other, the treble, the high and the low, is it adjusts the mid as well, dependable on how much you're pushing or pulling. So I usually like to push my high end a little bit and then bring up the low a little bit. So it kind of just boosts everything, keeps everything kind of equal, but more gainy. Because also with the oranges, I mean, they have a lot of things going on. Like a rock reverb's a totally different monster, but this is like a mix between that and the AD series, because I had the AD 140, and the AD 140 is a totally different beast, because before that I had a JCM 900 dual reverb, and I got that, and it was their dual channel, you know, kind of like high gain amp. It's a higher gain amp than the AD30 is. But it, the OR is definitely this new OR that I got my hands on somehow is it's a mix of the two. But the ADs do this thing where basically the bass, the mid, and the treble EQs are not frequency, they're volume. So if you turn down the bass, it actually kind of brings it makes your tone darker. It brings a little bit out of your tube. So if you turn down all of the bass, mid, and treble EQs, at least this is how that had worked. All you would hear was basically strings clacking. Like it would basically turn the amp off. So it separated it into sections. But with this, you basically have that going on, but you also are controlling how hard the tubes are being pushed, and also like your mid-range frequency by how you adjust it. So I'll just show you guys some on the clean channel, because it's easier to hear kind of how, well, and the dirty channel is a whole nother thing. So, but kind of show you how that ends up working. So this is just at noon, straight up and down, both of them. So then let's bring up the low end a little bit on it to about 2 o'clock. See, I brought that presence like out in it, but the mid kind of also scooped a little. Let's follow that with the high end. So now we're both at 2 o'clock. So because they're at the same setting, the mid is out of there. So if I turn my high end back down, my treble back down, let's bring it all the way back to, let's say 9 o'clock. It's gonna really push those mids. Let's bring the low end down to 9 o'clock right behind it and see what it sounds like. Bet you didn't expect that very much.
See, now we're pushing the mids.
So if we bring them both all the way back, it's going to kick the mids. So, and you can also, like what I like to do, so how I like to like run my clean channel, it's kind of like what we did where I had the treble like kind of, I like an equal balance, but I like my clean tone to be kind of dirty. I like it to break up. But I don't want to lose my low end. I don't want to lose like that hug. So it's almost like an overdrive kind of thing. So I'll give you an idea of like kind of where my tone lies. Sometimes that low like hits, man, like, and I want that extra on top. But also the cool thing about this channel is, like if you run distortion pedals at all, because the amp distortion on this amp, the gain channel that's my main sound, and I build on top of that. But if you got like a big muff or you want like a total tone shift or whatever, if you can hit your foot switch and your big muff at the same time, you can scoop your whole sound to where it just completely changes the sound sonically of your guitar, which is a trick I like to use a lot. To kind of sound, let's see if I can kind of replicate that idea. Kind of sounds something like this. So if I was playing You guys get what I'm saying? Like, do you see why I like this amp so much? Because that right there sounds like I'm switching between two completely different amplifiers. Orange have... They like I couldn't have probably done this amp any better if I would have done like a signature series or something. It is what it is. So, getting back to it, let's get into the dirty channel of my favorite amplifier, the Orange OR100. So, the thing about this amp that I just love so much, and like I'm definitely kind of an old school like tube amp, like PRS kind of guy. So, I just think if you have a head that's balanced well, and I'm talking about a dirty channel, I'm talking about, you know, an all the way type of thing. Because that clean channel on this head, it's a different area. But as far as this goes, as far as dirt goes, if you can turn every knob, just rail the fucking thing. Rail it all the way. Put a microphone on it. And if it sounds good, then you got a lot to work with. So honestly, like with this head, I rail the whole thing, except for my gain stage, which is really where you can control the EQ as well. Because, I mean, I'll show you what happens. I'll bring all the. So I have high, I have middle, and I have bass. These three small knobs. So I'm gonna bring all those down. So, see? So let's bring, I'll bring the high end up. We'll start there. And that's railed. Gotta bring the low end in for that one. Now, I'll show you what the real greatness of an Orange is their mid-range. So that's halfway. Hear it pushing the tubes? Sweet spot. Right in here. Right in there. So you can see what I'm saying. Like you can scoop this out if you're playing butt rock. You do something like this. Bring your bass down a little. Keep that treble up in the sweet spot. It actually goes 1 to 11, which is funny. But sweet spot's about between 9 and 11 in all of these because it starts to push your tubes. Like if you were doing. So yeah, then if you like to play metal, I just, you know, if you want to do that kind of metal, you have a situation where you can like push those mids extra if you want to, and we'll get to that in a second. But you keep your mids about noon, and then you bring everything else up, and you push in between that 9-11 sweet spot, bring that mid up a little bit. And also, the gain is incredible on this amp. That's what I want to get to with you guys. So let's go through the gain stages. You'll hear them. Halfway right there. See, now it starts to pick up. That gain stage just got. And that's all the way. That's a little too dirty for me, though. That's like super metal. I just want to play the heaviest shit ever when I do that. But I like my gain right where it starts to engage that extra gain stage. Right up in here. See here, now it's hitting it. Right. So I still get that pick attack. Yeah, I can't. Not used to these singles. But anyways, so yeah. Yeah, that is my oh wait, I didn't bring the mid back up. Which is the key to all. That's more like it. so you guys get it. Yeah, shout out to Orange on the OR100. If you guys dig this head, but you can't get your hands on it, or it's a little out of your price range, which I totally understand because I could have never afforded this amp my damn self. I would suggest, honestly, either if you're more on kind of the kind of not as heavy gain kind of side, but you can still get up there, especially if you're using pedals and like boosts and stuff like that. You can get yourself an AD30, but they have a version of this head called the OR15. That's a little version of it, and don't let it fuck you up. 15 watts of a Class A orange head is nothing to be scoffed at all. And it has all pretty much the same features, 2 channels. The other thing I wanted to get to about this amp before I forget about it is it also, I don't exercise this right yet, but I'm about to rebuild my pedal board when I finish this record I'm doing. I'm just kind of like pulling pedals off and throwing new ones on, and like every kind of song that I'm doing right now. So I'm charting a new pedal board that I actually already have. I got a big ass Gator Case XXL or XL or whatever, but it's bigger than this one, and I'm gonna put some more spacey, crazy effects back on my pedal board and a couple of like kind of crazy distortions. I definitely want a big muff back on my board or something, kind of like a Swollen Pickle or. But we'll get into pedals in a little bit. But yeah, this amp on the back of it also has the capability of a effects loop, which I think for some of my situations I might exercise that right to run a few things like some reverbs, maybe like a long delay for lead stuff out of my effects loop. But I usually like everything right here in front of my amp, pushing it because it helps push the tubes and break up the amp and stuff like that. Makes it sound like it's breaking itself more, which I like that. But it also has options for you have 3 foot switchable situations on this head. You have obviously a channel switch. I don't have all 3 foot switches. Like I said, I got to upsize. Orange just also came out with the little teeny foot switches, so I can get 3 of them and just line them up and hit them all at different times or the same time, turning my foot. But it also has a global boost, which means if you're playing on the clean channel or the dirty channel, it just gives you an extra 15 dBs. So if you want to like really come rip roaring into that Guns N' Roses cover your band's doing at the dive bar, you're definitely going to need an OR100. But my favorite of them, though, that I'm really going to exercise probably more than anything other than the channel, is it has a gain boost. So it gives you an extra little oomph in your gain stage. But that only works if you have the foot switch going with it. So I haven't really experimented with that much. Yeah, the micro dark rips, man. All their like little heads rip. Rocker verbs are cool. The thing about the rocker verbs, there's so much gain for me. I've used some dope ones. I've used some that were just like too much for me. I think it just kind of depends what's in it. Dano just flashed me some saying that somebody asked me if I would ever consider turning away from EL34s live. No, probably not. I've done the 6L6 thing with Buddhas. Oh, that's for Elephantricity. Shout out to Elephantricity. But that's the answer to your question. No, I don't think so, man. I'm a pretty tried and true EL34 guy. However, we got some other amps to get to. I mean, I like the 6L6 though as well. I mean, we also get into other amps. Like, I mean, KT88s is definitely a situation I could see myself being in as well. But usually, 34s are kind of the thing, or 84s, or whatever, whatever you want to equate to them. So, is there any questions or anything like that pertaining to orange or this head or like this kind of walk of tone that I'm in? This is like my main go-to tone live. This is my workhorse. This is like this is the amp that does all the like super magic stuff. Everything else that I use, it kind of sits around it. No questions? Nobody has any questions about the orange situation. So I also like the TH30s. Like they're like kind of high gain. It's based off kind of like the Dark Terror and stuff like that. Also, they're little lunchbox amps. Also end up kind of being similar to this kind of an idea mixed with the Rockbird thing. Yes, I have EL34s in the OR100. It also has. Whoa, why am I spacing on the preamp tubes? AX7s, 12 AX7s, and then I think it's got a couple other things for the clean. Yeah. In general, who is that? Prime Little Hobbit. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it depends on what I'm doing. It depends on the part, but usually my EQ for this head, this situation, is pretty cranked. But if something's sticking out, I also have this amp like biased and tubed like to my liking, so everything railed is an easy way for a sound guy to kind of tune your amp up to it. But if I was using like a rock reverb or something, I'd definitely be like dialing in more my dialing in my frequencies more, just because that's how that EQ works. What other amps come close to this amp that aren't orange that might be cost effective? Well, I don't know. Let's adventure over to my other side, if we can, because I've been using like all these amps I'm sitting in front of. I've used to a certain degree, and we're kind of working from like most used to like kind of like sprinkle on top kind of thing. How do you suppress all the noise? I don't. Like I was saying, I kind of use my see, because noisy, right? But honestly, this head is, if you got your pedal situation on lockdown, this head is not that noisy for how loud and crazy it is. But I use my channel switch as kind of like a noise kill switch. Yeah, Chuck, we did. You have the 50 watt though, right? And you don't. Is yours a Mark II? I'm not. Again, I've played great rock reverbs, and I'm an orange dude. But if anything, if I was gonna go with a rock reverb kind of model head, I'd go with like a lower wattage one. They're just so loud, and you can't really get that mid range out of them unless you're running 50 watt. Yeah, it was a Mark 1. Okay, so that makes sense. Yeah, I think it was a 50 watt Mark 1, which that's a great head. The thing about them though is that they don't have any tubes in the preamp, which is cool. And Orange have like perfected the art of that. As I've shown with my little 35 watt RT. It's amazing how they do that analog kind of. It's the same kind of thing that Sun does. like with their older amps and stuff like that don't have tubes in them. It's amazing. And then they put tubes in the power amp and have a crazy thing. Yeah, for sure, Chuck. Yeah, that's the one. That's if I was gonna have a rocker verb, that's the one I'd have for sure. Best orange bass amp. Everybody likes the AB 200, and it's a great head. But I really liked. Tim had he had the lunchbox, the big one they made that they took off the market pretty quick. But they did a 1,000-watt version and a 500-watt version, a Class D, and it was just insane. It was an insane amp. It was so loud, and the tone was great, and it had a gain on it and a channel switch and everything. It blew my mind. It didn't have that tube tone and stuff, but it was also just so much louder. Like, I don't know. I think that's my only kind of like gripe about Orange is I wish they'd make a tube bass head that was a little bit louder than 200 watts, because live for us it just kind of doesn't cut as much. I guess we just got to get 2 of them. Yeah, the new Fall Troy, all the Fall Troy records feature orange amps, except for the very, very first self-titled one, that one. But since Doppelganger, I've been using orange and Marshall in conjunction. I also, no shit, like I love Marshalls. I love Marshall amplifiers. They're fantastic, especially their older stuff. Like I love 800s. But on this record that I've been working on, I think I'm gonna switch over to this. Give me a moment. I'm gonna switch over to this Marshall real quick. We'll get the tone difference going. So now I'm using a Marshall Plexi Mark II, 50 watt reissue. So yeah, as you can see, it's a different sounding amp. Yes, it's a 1997 Marshall Plexi 50 watt 35th anniversary. Yes, there. According to, you can take Dano's word for this one. There's only 100 of them made. I'm not sure about that. It's the pedal. I'm not gonna stop doing it. So, see, these damn pedals. See, so like even the best of us have this going on while we're talking to you in between songs live. It's fine. But yeah, I like this head. It's interesting because it's a mix. It's a mix of kind of like the 800s and 900s that I used to have. It's got that thing where you can daisy chain it, so you can get both of the volumes, or you can turn it into a master volume head basically. But As you can see, you can do that. This is the other way to do a Marshall, in my opinion, is bring the gain down. Bring your high end down a little bit. Bring that mid out. And then use a distortion pedal like an overdrive, or I'm using my agree tone right now. Yeah, there's a lot of ways you can approach a Marshall as well, and definitely all kinds of them. With the plexi, this one's an updated version, so it's got more gain to it, but it's a totally different world than living over here for sure. But you put them together, that big ugly bottom of the Marshall and that kind of like where did I go? Oh, okay, I'm back. Sorry. The big noisy bottom and the kind of like wavering grindy mid range of the Marshall mixed with like the tightness of the orange. It makes for quite the wall of amps, especially when you like put a couple more things on top of it, which we're gonna get to right now. Give me a moment. Plug into a cab. This one. It needs to be plugged into a cab. Do it. Where's the... You're good. You can help me out, Dan. Fine. I'm gonna do it. So this next head is a custom-made head out of Portland, Oregon. It's called a Blackhawk. I'm not sure if there's a particular model of what it is, but it kind of gives me the vibes of like kind of a mix between like a old kind of one of these old Ampegs, but also mixed with like a Sun Model T kind of. The Blackhawk's sick. It's just a noisy, crazy, kind of like custom head. It's got like 5 or 6 different presets that you can run your. See, now it sounds kind of like a Marshall. Tighter, a little tighter. the Blackhawk. Let's see, what else do we got? Oh yeah. Well, I'm just gonna take a minute and talk about just like a couple of other like things that I did. I'm not gonna get into it because I don't have the Stratocaster in here, but on this new record that Dan and I have been working on, like that's basically our 3 like major tones that we're working with. Also, the orange and the Blackhawk are both on Muckle Tea Earth as well. But like that's our 3 tones basically, is the orange, the Marshall, the Blackhawk. So we kind of covered a lot of bases tone-wise to create this like wall of sound guitar kind of thing that we're doing. And then like mixing in certain other kind of out of left field amps that I wouldn't normally use. Like we have my buddy Jake from Just Like Finals, like Blackface 1966 Bassman, but it's modded, so it has a gain mod, so it's all crazy noisy, and it's just a totally different kind of sound than any of that. So it slides in nice for solo stuff like that, or if you want to accentuate a riff. And then we also just went left field with it on a couple of tunes, just because it worked to use a B25 Ampeg with a Stratocaster and then a few distortion pedals on top of all the kind of crazy, like humbucking pickups and things of the sort. Let me change guitars real quick here. Tired of holding that up. Let's see. I choose you. So, does anybody have any questions about like the Marshall situation or the Blackhawk situation, or just like amp stuff in general? Because, I could sit here and do this all day, but I feel like you guys kind of get the gist of where I'm coming from, and like I hope maybe you learned some stuff. Go back into my orange. Yep. Shout out to Dano for helping me out today. Somebody just asked if I switch up my cabinets while recording, or is it pretty consistent? Definitely switching up cabs like every track that we're doing, but sometimes we're using the same speakers in different kind of cabs. Like with the orange, I'm usually using a 4x12, unless it's like up on top of something like lead style, a little smaller of a tone, go to like a 2x12. I use this Sun Beta lead right here on some of the stuff I'm doing on my new record too, and it was just incredible. Really quirky stuff. Getting into stuff that I haven't gotten into and always wanted to. Best mid-range, orange, man, as far as amps go. But it also depends on what you're doing. The other thing about the orange amps that I really like is with the AD series especially. And this one does it too. I got to dial it back a little bit, but it does single coil pickups very, very, very well. Very well. Blue cheese or ranch? Blue cheese. All day. That's one of my favorite Paul Troy licks ever. Ever. I like that one. You got some questions over there, Dana? You got some shit written down? Anyways, so I also just wanted to like get into pedals a little bit. And just kind of what's on my board right now, but I'm also at a point where I've been experimenting a lot. And so I'm on my way towards new things, if that makes sense. But, you know, I've always loved my delay pedals. And I've always loved my options of delay pedals. Like, I like having something that's analog, something that's delay, something that is something that's quick, something that's long, something I can control, something that's set. I do not use a compressor on my board. I just... I almost like something like a big muff or something is almost a compressor to me, because it kind of limits your it limits like how up you can go. Hendo, I seize your comments, Hendo. I seize your smart mouth over there. But yeah, again, if you guys want to help me survive my life and you want to help us continue to bring this stream to you in better and better and better quality, please subscribe. If you want to get that going. Also, you can hit the info for links to donate via like PayPal and Cash App and what have you, Venmo. But yeah, so I think as far as the pedal things go, I'm just going to tell you guys what I have on my board. I don't want to give away all my secrets, but kind of what I've been working with mostly is, you know, I got the Boss tuner, I got the Whammy, I have the RE20 Space Echo modeler. I always got a volume pedal on me. Henry and I both use a pedal called Agreed Tone. It's a Seattle company that is custom-made stuff. Greedy Greg, good guy. I always have a small stone. I have a mini small stone Nano on my board right now. I swapped out the DD3 because it broke on me on the East Coast, and I picked up a TC Electronics, the little, not the big flashback, the little flashback. And I know it can do some really cool stuff. I just haven't gotten into that yet. I also don't have a laptop, so. And then, you know, I also have a whole box of pedals that are Henry and mine, including big muffs, you know, older distortion pedals. TS-808 is usually in the chain somewhere at some point. But Dano's got some crazy pedals over here too, kind of stuff that's like, kind of like modded out big muffs or like kind of more like fuzz type stuff. I don't step down the fuzz road very often, but he has this big crazy blue fuzz pedal. Yeah, who made this? What kind of pedal is this? Who made this pedal?
Germ Fuzz.
Who?
Germ Fuzz. J-E-R-M.
J-E-R-M.
F-U-Z-Z.
F-U-Z-Z. Germ Fuzz. This pedal is kicking my ass. It's incredible. I don't. I mean, I do. I Twitch Prime Maple Glow. I use different overdrives and stuff to push my distortion channel, like for like solos and stuff. But just my normal tone, no, I do not. I just going with that orange raw dog, baby. You know, that OR100 raw dog just gets it done for real. Sad Boy 101. If you were stuck in a house with one guitar, one amp, and 5 pedals, which would you choose and why? Probably this guitar, my OR100 with a 4x12, and then 5 pedals, Space Echo volume, Whammy, overdrive, and a tuner. I mean, I could tune on my own, but I might not know where I'm at, you know. I want to do all those cool tunings, but Yeah, that's what's on my board. And like as far as settings and go stuff, I figured I'd just at this point turn it over to whoever is still left here and whoever has questions and stuff about my pedals and shit like that. I know that you guys are pretty specific when it comes to that kind of stuff and what you want to know. So this is where I'm going to open it up to the Q&A. And what size string gauge do I use? I use 10 to 46. I used to use Ernie balls, but now I use Diodarios. NYXLs, is that what they're called? NYLX, NYXLs? The orange ones. The black pack. Have you used any Earthquaker device pedals? Yeah, I used quite a few actually on my forthcoming record. They make awesome pedals. That's definitely a company I want to like get into a little more. I'd like to have a Dispatch, and then the Rainbow Machine is the shit. I definitely got my hands on a Rainbow Machine and didn't put it down for a few days. My solo record. But it's cool. I feel like I get it. Any plans of touring the new album? Or is that out of mind for now? It's never out of mind, but it kind of has to be for now. Drives voice. But there is definitely plans to tour. I remember you having a green SG that looked like a race car back in the day. Yeah, I like SGs that look like race cars, I guess. I know everybody's on the Earthquaker Devices train, but I just think there's a lot of pedals that are just as dope as Earthquaker Devices pedals, like electro harmonics. I'm a big fan of electro harmonics. I always have been. Not pedal related. Do you try any floating bridge guitars? Yeah, my 175 has a floating bridge on it, and my old Rickenbacker 330 used to have a floating bridge on it. Koala Digitech Polaris Reverb is also a good psychedelic pedal. Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that that's the only other pedal that Digitech make that's really worth a shit. So, I mean, I love the whammy. I've never really stepped away and tried anything else, but I'll take your. I'll check it out for sure. I'm always open to suggestions from you guys too. When do I get my Q&A? When do I get to ask you guys what I should be, putting on my record? You have to do dad shit. NPC Aaron. Miss you too, man. Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Shout out to Aaron. What pedals did I use on We Are the Future and FCP Remix? I used an FM4 on We Are the Future, and I used Space Echo RE20 on FCP Remix, and a DD3. Maple Glow, have you ever used any Chase Bliss audio pedals? No, but that's a company that I'm kind of interested in. They make some crazy good quality shit. Yeah, definitely, agreed. When I was just talking about, Earthquaker make awesome shit, but there's a lot of companies doing kind of cool shit coming up under them. That's one of the companies I was thinking of. Thanks for shouting that out. I couldn't think of what their name was. Yeah, Bliss Audio. Isn't that just what they go by? Thank you, 760. We Are the Future was my that when we did that one, that was the song. I was like, that's the one. That's my favorite. A fun tour story. What is the oldest pedal I've been using, like in terms of consistency from album to album? Well, probably the whammy pedal. The Small Stone, or the Space Echo. I've been hooked on these pedals for quite a while. And they're pedals that I find new and innovative ways to use them, as far as conjoining them with other things. What I really like to do, and when you're getting next level with your pedal game, is you start combining things. You start tap dancing on your pedal board and doing combos of things and using certain things for just little pieces. and then switching tone up, kind of like I showed you earlier with the orange and switching the channels and the fuzz pedal, kind of completely jarring the tone. I like that kind of stuff a lot. I have never used a RoboTalk. Never used any type of talking pedal before. Driest voice. Favorite band to tour with? And favorite show you've played? That's so hard, man. Favorite band I've toured with? Probably Deftones. I don't know. That's really hard, though. So many cool bands. We've been so lucky to tour with so many dope bands. And favorite show I've played? I don't know, man. Or woman. Whichever. I don't know. That's too hard. I've played too many amazing shows. Too many. I'd be sitting here running my mouth for a long, long time. The Hatsune Miku pedal? What's that about? Blue 123 Lightning. Tell me more. Eight is the day of reckoning. You're goddamn right it is. Yeah, and then like after that, there's more coming. I'm not done. 2020, 2021, 2022. I'm not gonna be done for a while, so I hope you guys are strapped in for the long haul. What is this pedal? I can't see it. The one I just said? Does it look cool? What does it say on it? Like, what, does it say what it does? It has like a phase. Is it like a phase shifter? Oh, I bet it's like makes your guitar sing like a famous animated singer from Japan. That's awesome. Yeah, that's so sick. I like that. Adam Kelly, did I use Buddha in the Unlikely Event at all? Yeah, I did. For a while I was using Orange and Buddha together. I was always using Orange, even in the years I was using Buddha. In the studio, I still had my 140 and I was using it. But in conjunction with my Buddha stuff, because I love that stuff too. Dan's got a Buddha Superdrive 18 sitting right here out of the shot. Unless you can see it, you might be able to. How many songs on In the Unlikely Event were performed on a baritone guitar? 2. Maple Glow. Hey, Tom. Does this SG have EMG pickups? Yes, it does. It has 3 old school, original. This is all original, 1988 EMG 60s in it. So they're not 85s, they're not 81s, they're not 89s. They're not all crazy, like, metal sounding. They're like noisy and crazy. So it was just meant to be, I guess. I guess I was meant to end up with EMGs in my hands once again. Which is dope. I back it. I use all the... that's a good question, Caveman. I do use middle pickup and I use bridge pickup. Just not as live as much, but especially with this guitar, I use all 3 of the pickups on this guitar just because having 3 of the same pickup in different spots, and especially being EMGs on a SG, like, it's pretty weird. It's pretty interesting. Are we ever coming to Mexico? I hope so. I hope the whole squad comes to Mexico. That would be fun. No, I used the middle pickup. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's all I got as far as gear goes that I want to give away to you on this particular stream. But if there's any burning desires or whatever kind of questions, ask them right now. Hey, thanks, Rob Boss. Hell yeah. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get everybody psyched. Like, you know, and I like hanging out with you guys every week. And it's the only job I have right now. I don't have the qualifications to go get myself a 9 to 5. So yeah, I don't know. You guys are wonderful. I love you very much, and I will see you guys next week. Maybe from here, maybe from somewhere else. We will find out. But until next time, take care of yourself and others. Behave and be great. I love you. Good evening. Good evening, guys. See you next week.